Howdy there, folks. I was watching a Money GPS or something's the guy's name. There's some ninja guy, I don't know what the hell his name was. Financial ninja or something like that. Yeah, they want to tell you how bad things are, and they're getting that way. But if you go back to when they started issuing Social Security back about the 40s, roughly. That's when they started Social Security. Pensions, hell, 401s and that stuff didn't come into play until much later than that. You see that Wall Street and the bankers have always been scheming to get your money. Always scheming to get your money, one way, shape, or form. How to build their stocks, how to build their portfolios, how to build their corporations. And all it is a big scam. They took a lot of money. Took a lot of money in annuities, in pensions. They promised a lot of money in Social Security. Well, they found out they don't have the money. They don't have it to pay you. They took it, but they don't have it. Their fractional reserve system has run its course. Going to be a lot of mad, upset people. Because all of a sudden one day, you get all these baby boomers, man, they're starting to retire. Well, they have been, but they got a while to go yet. They can't pay them. Getting harder and harder to pay them. Getting harder and harder to pay you. See, that's where the problem lies. Just like government, they take your tax dollars, they piss it away, and they don't have the money to pay for what they took the money for. So they need more money, and more, and more, because they keep doing the same thing over and over and pissing it away. See, it's a real scam. What happens? You get into a 401 mutual fund, and there's all these fees attached to it. So they're charging Tom, Dick, and Harry and everybody else all these fees. Well, where do those fees come from? That's right, it comes out of the fund. They've taken so much out by charging all these fees, didn't leave much. Because they take that money and invest that money and invest that money and invest that so many times and keep charging more and more fees. Keep leveraging and leveraging and leveraging more and more. See, this is what the problem is. They don't have it. It's all fractional reserve. It's an illusion. It's a game. Of course, the guys at the top doing it all, man, they're making billions, trillions. You sit down here and, my God, you're worried about making enough to survive when you retire. Hell, they made enough to survive the first damn week, probably the first day. They don't care. They build these huge glass monuments to themselves. I don't know who they're trying to impress. As they found out, you can do the same damn thing by keeping people at home, letting them work from home. And it saves you an awful lot of money. I forgot what the hell it cost. It was one of the banks. But it cost them a fortune just to keep one branch open. I forgot what it cost, but I mean, I think altogether it was like $2.5 billion just in maintenance and keeping the lights on in all their branches. That's where your money goes. And that doesn't include salaries yet. And those people's pensions. And those people's 401s. It's just an illusion. They call it money. It's debt. Debt and credit. An illusion. That illusion's getting ready to materialize. And when it materializes, it ain't going to be anything like they thought. They're getting scared. You know what seems funny to me is Jamie Dimon, J.P. Morgan. He sits up there and he's collecting gold and silver and cash, 500 billion in cash, probably more than that, but that's what they say. The cash isn't worth anything, so why is he saving cash? What's he going to do with all that cash? When they do a reset, it's going to be all digital. They're not going to have any use for that cash. So what's he going to do with it? He'll try pawning it off until enough people take it. Until they decide, man, I ain't taking this anymore. They're going to have to give me something else. So, just remember, they don't do this for you. They do it for themselves. They tell you they do it for you. Man. But if you do it right, and if they weren't criminals, it's a great concept, great idea. I mean, man, if you were 16 years old and started buying into a 401 company stock, and every job you went to, you kept doing it, you'd have a lot of money saved up by the time you retired. But that's the problem. It takes you a lifetime. It takes them a few days to get that rich. Then they keep suckering more and more people in. If they were honest and moral, and they're not, things would be a little different. You could trust them, but you can't. Can't trust the government, they lie to you. Can't trust the bankers, they lie to you. Can't trust corporations, they lie to you. Look at your own corporation, look where you work. How many times they've told you the truth about anything? And if you ask, they probably fire your ass. You got a bunch of jerk-offs working for them. Bunch of incompetence. Mediocre at best. Bunch of ass clowns. Doesn't matter. You can sit up here and say that stuff. You're going to be surprised. I'll be surprised. There'll be companies that you're going to go back and look at and go, man, I can't believe they went out of business. Look at Bear Stearns. Look at AIG. Who would have thought, man? Who would have thought? Should have been a hell of a lot more than that, but boy, after they got done in 2008, by 2010 when the tally was done worldwide, I think it was like closer to $29 trillion is what they spent to keep everything afloat. Just the other day it was 500, the repo between banks at night to balance their books was hit 500 and some billion, 520, 30 billion. The next day, almost 750 billion. It went up. Yeah. 200% $200 billion in one day. Wow, that's a hell of a jump. You tell me what's going on. Yeah, $200 billion jump in one day. That's just so the banks will balance their money, balance their books, borrow a little money from each other, and balance the books at the end of the day. They got a real problem. Something ain't working out too good for them. Wouldn't you just like to think, oh, I need 750 some billion? Ah, here, just put some zeros in your account. Try doing that. Try just going to your account there and put a bunch of zeros in. See how far you get. Hell, man. I don't know how the hell you can call that even counterfeiting. Because you're not reproducing any funds, any money, any coins or tender or nothing. It's just some digits in a computer. I don't know how the hell you could even call that fraud. Yeah, well, it's fraud, but you can't call it counterfeiting. What are you counterfeiting? Big accounting error. But hey, that's the way they do things. It's awesome. It's great. Wouldn't you like to be able to do that? Like I always say, be kind and generous to each other. You're all you have out there. It's you, the individual, makes this country. It's not them. They're destroying it. You're making it. You're just going to be hung out there. You're the one's going to suffer, go through the pain. Why? Well, because you don't matter to them. You matter to me. You matter to God. You matter to your loved ones and your friends. You matter to yourself. All I'm saying is unite. That's right, unite. Don't hold grudges. Your enemy's going to get hungry too. And he may not be your enemy after you fed him a little bit. You may actually find out he's an alright person. Maybe not, but Well, y'all take care now. It's getting late here. Take care.